Good morning. You know, I've done a couple of these by now in a few places around the world, but I must say this is the one I'm most excited for by far. I think Menangula's chemistry lesson, I couldn't have started the morning any better than that. So I used to work in Miss Nangula when I was a trainee clerk at PwC. So to see her giving lessons in the morning is a familiar sight for me. But likely today she didn't ask me for my homework in front of the whole class. So I hope the slides go well. Be that as it may, I'd really love to thank everyone for coming. I mean, sitting back there, I'm sort of standing there with a lot of the guys that we've been working with for the past year, the Performance Delivery Unit, ETC. And to see the room full of visitors from around the world, people of all shapes and forms and sizes and types, makes us super proud as Namibians to be able to host you. Now, the topic that was given to me speaks for itself. I'm supposed to talk about Namibia's hydrogen hubs. But today, and they gave me 20 minutes, right? I've been talking about this, as you heard, apparently inhaling it and exhaling it for a year. So today I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to surprise some of you. A lot of you now know that we are working on this green hydrogen strategy with McKinsey and many other experts around the world. And this is now the vision that we have for our country. We're of the opinion that Namibia has the potential to potentially have 2 to 3 green hydrogen valleys in Namibia. The one in the south is the most prominent and the one that we've spoken about the most. I'm super proud to actually have one of our Lüderitz Town Council members here. We typically take so many visitors to Lüderitz, but today he's actually in Windhoek. So Lüderitz and the Hyphen project is now a global phenomenon, I think it's fair to say. But today we're going to be announcing pilot projects that we have been conceiving and thinking about for about a year. About a year ago, we signed a joint communication of intent with the German government, and that unlocked about 40 million euros, which is actually a lot of money in Namibia. And 30 million euros of that was earmarked to build pilot projects in Namibia. So to actually start building infrastructure still in the grounds here in our country sooner than the mega project that would come in Lüderitz. And it was interesting that once we were done with the selection process, and we're announcing those pilot projects today, quite a few of those projects are actually in the Irongo region. In fact, all 4 successful projects are in the Irongo region. And that's amazing for us because that then begins to kickstart the second hub of the green hydrogen strategy that we have for Namibia. And essentially, we'd be allocating 30 million euros to these 4 projects. That is about $500 million Namibian dollars. And I think, I would really love to ask us to give a hand of applause to the German government, but of course to these projects as well. Congratulations. To the Dauro project, the Namport Applications project, which of course is being sort of run in conjunction with Namport, the Clean Energy project, which is a really cool service station, and then of course Trans-Namib as well, where we're going to be looking to get this, dual-fueled hydrogen trains in Namibia. Every time I'm always like, what does that actually mean? So you've heard my voice very often. I'm actually going to quickly flip through these slides and actually eventually invite up the successful applicants to talk to you a little bit more about this. This one in particular will be decarbonizing various port facilities at Namport, including a tugboat and other assets at Namport. From what we understand, it will be the first of its kind in Africa, which, by the way, when we were reading these applications, was really inspirational. You would have seen there as well, similar with this project, I'm not going to say much about this because Ika, sitting there next to Sven, guys, thanks a lot for having the courage to invest in Namibia. Ika is going to come up and tell you a little bit more about this project, but this will be a we're going to start deploying into the mobility sector. I'm super excited to see this going. I mean, I honestly can't wait to drive there with my family one day and pull up in a hydrogen vehicle and hopefully fill up. Super proud to have TransNamib in the room as well. I'm going to get Logan and the guys from Hyphen to talk about this project as well. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that, but needless to say, when we were at COP27, one of the key sectors that the world, together with our president, agreed to decarbonize was the transport sector. And in these 4 projects, transport comes out quite strongly, but we've also covered agriculture. Of course, we've covered hydrogen and we've covered power as well. So I'll get Logan to come and talk about this. And this is the one that we're almost, it's an underdog, but we're very excited about. This one has a nice agricultural component to it as well. And as we all know, agriculture is, of course, one of the largest employers in Namibia. And of course, this is where you can start producing green fertilizer and start to reduce that carbon footprint that people don't typically think about. And so true to form, I won't spend a lot of time today talking about these projects. You will see me in the panel session. But I would like to invite our first speaker, which is actually Hyphen, to come and talk a little bit about the green hydrogen service station that they want to build in Walvis Bay. If we can cue in our guest from ONL and Clean Energy. Hyphen, welcome.
Thank you, James. Good morning. So we from Clean Energy, that is the Oltava in this group, and CMB Tech, very much appreciate to be part of this award. We thank the Namibian government and also the BMBF to put trust in our project to actually bring the first hydrogen production pilot project or plant and refueling station to Namibia. We really believe this will kickstart, and together with our fellow projects and associated projects will act as a catalyst to bring a new, exciting and very significant industry to Namibia, fully in line with our purpose of creating a future and enhancing life. Behind me on the screen you can actually quickly see what are we actually putting up there. It will be up and running end of 2023. It's PV solar. It is a 5 megawatt electrolyzer. It is a refueling station, and it is a training center. The hydrogen that we produce there will actually act as an enabler and will power the related projects in our partner projects in the port sector, in the transport sector, be it rail and road, and also within the mining sector. So all these projects are really interlinked and feed off each other. Thank you very much.
Great, so that's a sneak peek of what's to come, 2023. Yeah, I don't know, we need to get the dealerships. I hope Pupkewitz is listening, but we need to get those hydrogen cars on the road by then. This next one is also a really cool one. I'm going to invite both of you to actually come up. Logan, you can stand up here as well. We have to share the limelight. This is the dual fueled locomotive, and we've got our colleague from Hyphen Tech and Logan from TransNamib. Over to you.
Good morning. On behalf of TransNamib, obviously I'd like to say thank you to the Namibian government. Green hydrogen has been on our radar for about 3 years, and it's been grant funding applications one after the other. It had to take the Namibian government to step up and give us this opportunity. And Andrew Carnegie used to say, you should surround yourself with smart people, and that's why we got people like Hyphen to come and help us. So I'm going to give it over to Conrad to take us through the project.
Thank you, Logan. So everyone, this is a massive privilege for me. My name is Conrad Boshoff. I'm an old railway guy, so to see a project come to fruition, or at least the start of it, that really revitalizes railways in Africa, I think that's just the beginning of very great things, and especially with the link to hydrogen. So once again, thank you to the Namibian government and also to the German Federal Ministry of Education for making this possible. Dual fuel locomotives, and I'll get into the detail now. And we had some supporting research activities as well, coupled to that, specifically to enable the rollout, once we're done with the demonstration, to roll this out into the fleet of the Trans-Namib fleet in Namibia. Very exciting. So we have some of the partners there, supporting partners, including CNB Tech, which is the technology partner. We have the University of Namibia, that was part of the academic research and technical support. Also the Namibian Green Hydrogen Research Institute, Traction, which is a railway logistics operator and rolling stock owner, and then Trans-Namib, a key stakeholder in this. Right, so the project brief, basically, we're looking at the location of the project would be Walvis Bay to Kransberg. It's a line just to the northeast of Walvis Bay, and we would be doing round trips between there and the yard at Kransberg. The project would include 2 locomotives that would be converted in different ways in order to use hydrogen as a co-fuel. So basically in a dual fuel scenario where you'd use diesel as pilot ignition and you'd be able to substitute the diesel for hydrogen. And the reason we're doing that is both from a risk point of view for the railways to ensure that the locos always have reliability of service, and also introduce the hydrogen as a gradual means to power locomotives. And then in the middle, you'll see we'll have what we call a fuel tender, which would be made of modular half-height, basically storage tanks, roughly 250 to 350 bar storage tanks for the trial. Just go back one. All right, so this will be the route, the basic operational concept, going down from the Port of Walvis Bay, picking up loads, taking it all the way up to the top, up to Kransberg, dropping the loads, coming back down with either loads or empties, and basically doing that round trip. And we're basically tying up with CNB Tech, and we would be using hydrogen from their filling stations. So some of these projects, this project's already integrated with the previous project from List as a potential offtake of hydrogen that they produce. And then this is the collaboration structure where we've got the different parties and basically participating in various ways, technical skills, technology, systems engineering, enabling requirements analysis, making sure that this is a fully fledged out project and making sure that it's successful in the end, because that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that Namibia is on the right foot in using its own generated hydrogen at a cost point that is just competitive overall in its logistics. So thank you very much.
Brilliant. So you see, that was much more fun than listening to me talk for 20 minutes. And just as we thought we sort of finished, the last person I'd love to invite up is one of the finest and like most proudest people that I do get to work with in the hydrogen industry. You would have noticed in a lot of the pilot projects, there was an academic research component to them. So the project application had a module 1, which was a commercial aspect of it. And of course, module 2 was the academic research part of it. And UNAM and the Namibian Green Hydrogen Research Institute and NAST all put in efforts to try and articulate how actually our students would start getting involved in these projects so that they can start problem solving for the future that they actually want to see. So I would like to invite Dr. Zivai. Today he is at the front. And he can come and tell us a little bit about how either UNAM, NAST, or the NGHRI will be working with some of these pilot projects that we're announcing. Dr. Zivai, the floor is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I'm excited to stand in front of you, coming from UNAM and from the Namibia Green Hydrogen Research Institute, which has worked with the various institutions, companies, big conglomerates, as we tried to look at what kind of research could actually be done, also by the people who are here in Namibia, in collaboration with others. And we are so happy to notice that some of the projects in which we participated, have been selected. And those projects that have been selected, and UNAM and the Namibia Green Hydrogen Research Institute is committed to this research. The Namibia Green Hydrogen Research Institute does not stand for UNAM alone. It stands for Namibia, for the nation. So all researchers are expected. And those researchers that have got a wish to go on for your PhD, for your master's degree, to do your research thesis in green hydrogen, we want to welcome you, because this project will allow you to do this on the job. We can almost say, touch the hydrogen. And then you'll know whether it is warm or cold. And hydrogen will bring food to everybody's table here. And we want to do just that. So we are very proud. We'll be working together with the institutions while they are setting up the plans and the training institutions. Namibia Green Hydrogen Research Institute will be participating, and we will participate and collaborate with external partners all over the world who will make it possible for us to do research that is competitive as ever can be. I think with these few words, I'll try to stop here. Thank you very much.
Great. That was actually going to be my main message, right? My main message is that the government has conceptualized, it's created a vision, and we've now hopefully started creating a conducive environment for the private sector to begin to do what it does best, to invest, to take risk, to research, to explore, and in the process to help the economy start, kickstarting and running again. So what I would now love to do is something I've seen on TV the whole time, but I've never been a part of it because I've never bought a lottery ticket. But at the back there somewhere, there's a big check that Panache is going to bring up. So Panache, by the way, this guy is in the back of the engine room of a lot of what we've been doing for the past 2 years. He's part of the performance delivery unit that is overseeing HPP2. And so no one ever really sings his praises publicly, but I'd really love to say thank you to him and the performance delivery unit. It's heavy. It's 30 million euros heavy. And so at the moment, I'd like to call up all of the guys that were here, IK, Transnamib, Dr. Zivai, because people want to take photos, and I can't hold the check alone. And Ambassador Beck, why don't you come up as well? I know you weren't prepared, but we couldn't get the BNBF here as well, so please come and help me hand this over to the colleagues. Ambassador Beck is the German ambassador. Round of applause. More.